Montego, distinctively better. Every detail of specification speaks for a certain status and prestige. Its low-drag styling, its silent interior, its sure-footed speed and finesse, its range of engine sizes, its advanced technology. Distinctive, elegant, that's Montego. A rare breed of car that sends the pulse racing, with looks that combine skillful aerodynamics with superb driver visibility. A breed that promises excitement and keeps that promise from the moment the door is opened. Montego, definitive, timeless, aerodynamic, distinction in every sphere. Aerodynamics are vital to reduce turbulence and drag. Every aspect of Montego's styling has been carefully considered. The front spoiler that deflects the airflow upwards and outwards over the sculpted front end. The integrated front bumper, which sets off Montego's style. Vital detail, rubber sealing gaskets round the headlights. Radio aerial slanted in the A-post, the curve of the drip rail towards the roofline. Wipers that follow the line of least wind resistance. Flush glazing with glass bonded to body. An aerodynamically shaped door mirror faired into the cheetah panel. All contribute to cutting down wind noise and vibration. A styling that accentuates the long, sleek look, that hides a vast interior and cavernous boot. 18.4 cubic feet of boot space, which simply swallows up the load. And with the rear seat folded forward, items up to 6 feet in length can be carried. A special underfloor locker, handy for umbrellas or anoraks, is accessible by lifting up a corner of the boot mat. An ingenious feature makes the spare wheel simple to remove. 2 slings lift and swing it up forwards towards the edge of the boot, from where it can be easily lifted out over the bumper level sill. Just one of 4 major boot features that make it a class beater. The catch to release the boot lock is situated in the floor on the right-hand side of the driver's seat, and on some models the fuel cap lock can also be released from this position. Certain models are fitted with electronic central door and boot locking. All models are fitted with a personal security system. This system allows the owner to leave the car without allowing access to the boot or glove box, and is a feature that will appeal to the fleet owner. The system is provided with 2 keys. One operates all the locks and the ignition. The other will only operate the doors, fuel filler cap and ignition, thus leaving the boot and glove box secure. Finally, on HL models and above, the rear seat splits 60-40 into 2 portions. The larger portion forms a desk for the busy executive, and the smaller portion a picnic tray for rear seat passengers. Stowage space inside the car is equally extensive. Rear parcel shelf, a small shelf and driver's door bin, a deep and roomy lockable glove box. Fascia top tray, coin tray and document holder in the driver's sun visor. A passenger door bin, cassette storage space and a trinket tray in the center console. Here, the seats are upholstered in marl fabric with door inserts reflecting the seat colors. The lavishly finished interior also includes cut pile carpet throughout, fully upholstered and adjustable head restraints, and soft feel seat belts with an ingenious height adjustment for extra driving comfort. All models are equipped with a comprehensive range of analog instruments with the sophisticated LCD driver information center available as an option on some models. Superb in-car entertainment is available at various levels across the range. Models fitted with electrically operated front windows feature a 2-position switch on the driver's door, providing separate one-touch full open selection and manual override for small movement selection. Certain models have, as an option, a sophisticated electronic driver information center that provides the ultimate in dashboard instrumentation. Vital information is provided through a computer-controlled message center, a vehicle display map, a series of warning lights, and a voice synthesizer.
All monitored functions are working correctly.
Such sophistication has never before been available in a volume-built car. A standard fitment is the revolutionary TD wheel and tyre with the bead-locking rim design that makes it a world leader. This provides tyre retention when deflated. The tyre design gives better ride characteristics and improved fuel economy through reduced rolling resistance. Combined with the excellent suspension and road-holding qualities, the Montego produces a smooth, superbly comfortable ride with a tautness that testifies to the well-balanced suspension and steering geometry. The complete range is supported by 3 different engine sizes, including a 2-litre fuel-injected unit and a variety of transmissions, including a brand new 5-speed gearbox. At the heart of the range is the all-new 1.6 S-Series engine, which has been developed from some of the most powerful computer-aided engineering resources in Western Europe. And with servicing intervals of 12,000 miles or 12 months, the standards set by the Montego all add up to a new era of economy. Nothing has been forgotten, from the halogen headlamps and safety dual-bulb tail lights, through the superb standard of paint finish and anti-corrosion protection, to the elegant looks, enhanced on some models by bronze-tinted glass, to screen out solar heat and headlight dazzle. Montego, quite simply a new class of car. A rare breed for which the world is now ready, distinctly better than any competitor. To match the sophistication of design and performance, the Montego has an engine management system that's far in advance of anything in its price range. A system that provides total management for carburation, programmed ignition, and, where applicable, electronic fuel injection. Although sophisticated, the system is simple to understand and extremely reliable. Apart from initial settings, the system needs no servicing or adjustment. Should a fault occur, diagnosis is easy using new and current fast-check equipment. Electronic fuel injection is standard on the MGI. All other models use the familiar Austin Rover HIF carburetor. A maintenance-free programmed ignition system replaces the conventional distributor on the 1.6 and 2-litre models. The programmed ignition system is a major advance in engine management. Being more flexible and accurate in operation than a distributor, it produces greater engine efficiency and better overall performance. With virtually no moving parts to wear, programmed ignition provides a consistent spark, correctly timed over the entire engine speed range. This results in optimum engine performance and fuel economy. Information is gathered by the electronic control unit from various sensors. The crankshaft sensor, monitoring engine speed and position, collects information from the reluctor disc. 2 large segments, diametrically opposed, correspond to the engine TDC positions, and in conjunction with a pressure transducer within the ECU, which monitors engine load, provide basic ignition timing. The smaller remaining segments allow the sensor to continually update the ECU with crankshaft position and speed. This ignition timing is then varied using information from the temperature sensor and the knock sensor located in this boss, cast in the optimum position in the crankcase. Quite simply, when knock or detonation is detected in an individual cylinder, the ignition timing is retarded. When knock ceases, the spark timing is automatically restored to the programmed position. For the ultimate in engine management and fuel economy, the MG is fitted with an electronic fuel injection system of the indirect constant fuel pressure type. The electronic control unit senses information concerning engine speed, load and temperature, thus enabling the correct amount of fuel to be delivered. Fuel pressure from the pump is controlled by the fuel regulator, and the amount of fuel injected is determined by the length of time the injector is energized by the control unit. The control unit transmits an electrical pulse which opens the injectors twice during each engine cycle to improve fuel distribution. The injectors are located in the inlet manifold adjacent to each cylinder. They direct the spray onto the back of the closed inlet valve. Fuel is therefore not injected directly into the cylinders, but into the airstream entering the engine. Air is drawn from the air cleaner through the airflow sensor and throttle butterfly into the engine. The airflow sensor is the most important item in the control section. Airflow is used to determine engine load in preference to throttle position. Fault finding on programmed ignition and electronic fuel injection uses the fast check equipment and is carried out on a go, no-go principle following a simple step-by-step guide. The sensational high-style Montego comes with 3 engine sizes, giving the range enormous flexibility. The economical and highly reliable 1.3 A-series engine, a brand new 1.6 S-series engine producing 85 bhp, and the well-proven 2-litre O-series engine, which in single carburettor form has been developed to increase its power output from 92 to 104 bhp. The 1.3 A series is identical to the power unit fitted to the Maestro, with which you are familiar. Even when fitted with a 2-litre O series engine, there's plenty of space available to make servicing operations very easy. The 2-litre O series power unit will in many respects be familiar to you. Visually, however, it's very different. The head has been turned round, allowing the carburettor to be retained on the bulkhead side of the engine, thus allowing a lower bonnet line. First, let's look at the features on the 2-litre O-series power unit. Cooling is provided by a pressurized spill return system with the coolant circulated by an impeller-type belt-driven water pump fitted into the cylinder block. This is assisted by a thermostatically controlled electric fan. To assist cold starting, the aluminium alloy inlet manifold has an electrical heater sealed to the underside. Temperature is constantly monitored by a transmitter which controls the PTC heater electrical circuit. Within the carburettor body is a vacuum adapter which provides the ECU with load information through varying depression. The conventional distributor has been replaced by a distribution unit driven directly from the rear end of the camshaft. This is merely a device for distributing HT output. HT voltage from the coil is controlled by the programmed ignition unit, providing a consistent spark over the entire engine speed range. At the other end of the camshaft, engine noise has been reduced with a toothed timing belt. Timing belts must be handled with care. They develop a wear pattern, and if reused, must be marked with the direction of rotation to ensure refitting in the same way. There are 2 minor changes that are worth noting. Both the inlet and exhaust valves now have oil seals. And the camshaft end float is now controlled by a steel insert in the cam cover, which runs in a groove machined in the camshaft. Always set the engine to the safe position before removing or refitting the cylinder head. Indication of the safe position is now shown by this niche in the front pulley. This is aligned with this mark on the bracket here, below the water pump. The front and rear camshaft oil seals, which can be changed without disturbing the cover, have been changed in size. New tools, which are also applicable to the S-series engine, are used. A new tool has been introduced for use on the rear end of the camshaft. When the top cover is removed, the camshaft needs to be held in its running position until the camshaft retainers are located. Fit the tool using the distribution cap fixing point. In addition to the 1.3 and 2 litre power units, an exciting new 1.6 engine has been added to the range. This new unit has made considerable advances in the areas of compactness, drivability, economy and servicing. The design of the block and sump have led to considerable weight savings, a very important element in today's energy-conscious environment. The new design has also led to better sound absorption characteristics and strength. Let's look in detail at some of the new features of the engine. A programmed ignition system employing a microprocessor electronic control unit ensures that the spark is delivered at the optimum moment for peak efficiency. An electric manifold heater replaces the conventional manifold hotspot to warm the air-petrol mixture. This operates in conjunction with the water-heated inlet manifold, which takes over as the engine warms up. The result is a shorter warm-up period with subsequent fuel savings and smoother running when the engine is cold. The cylinder head has been designed to give a much smoother flow to the inlet passage and also aids the overall weight reduction of the power unit. The fuel pump is located on the right-hand side and is driven directly from the camshaft. As with the O-series engine, the conventional distributor has been replaced by this simple distribution unit mounted on the end of the camshaft. The rotor arm is held on with a metallastic bush, which absorbs vibration and offset screws prevent incorrect fitment of the cap. The camshaft cover is in two sections, following the contour of and fitting between the three bearings, to allow easy checking of valve clearances at 24,000-mile intervals. To replace the camshaft belt, simply remove the top and bottom covers, the alternator drive belt and crankshaft pulley, slacken the bolts and slide back the adjuster, and remove the timing belt, making sure you mark the direction of rotation if it's to be refitted. The camshaft pulley is cast alloy and secured by a single bolt and one dowel. After undoing the retaining bolts, the camshaft and carrier can be removed. The complete camshaft housing is located by two hollow dowels either end of the housing on the manifold side. The cylinder head is removed in the normal way. The cylinder block is recessed, allowing the water pump impeller to rotate in the coolant passage, and thus avoiding the use of any external hoses and connections. Coolant is drawn forward through the cylinder block and pumped into the cylinder head at the front of the engine. It then flows through the cylinder head and exits through the thermostat housing. The metal sump is fitted with a self-locating one-piece neoprene gasket to to ensure an oil-tight joint. The oil pump is driven directly off the front of the crankshaft, with the oil filter mounted on the pump housing for accessibility. Computer-aided technology used in the crankshaft design has led to reduction of stress and harshness by improving casting techniques and incorporating 8 counterweights. Using this technology, the pistons have been designed to reduce frictional losses, aided by 2-stage honing of the cylinder bores. The 3 engine sizes of the Montego have a combination of 2 gearboxes. 2 of them you're familiar with. The 1.3 and 1.6 models are fitted with the 4 or 5-speed gearbox that's been so successful in the Maestro. 1.6 models have the option of the proven 3-speed automatic gearbox. 2-litre versions have a new 5-speed gearbox using helical-type gears on forward and final drive to achieve a tough, quiet gearbox designed to stand up to today's modern traffic conditions. Various ratios are available to suit the derivatives in the model range. With just 2 shafts, all main shaft and counter shaft forward gears are constant meshed. First, second and reverse are integral with the main shaft, whilst 4th and 5th gears freewheel on needle roller bearings. On the counter shaft, 1st and 2nd gears freewheel on needle roller bearings, whilst the 3rd, 4th and 5th are splined to the counter shaft. Advanced engineering has enabled the 5th gear to be included as part of the main shaft assembly, resulting in a very compact unit and making repair extremely simple. The transmission and gearbox are removed in the normal way. Turn the whole unit over onto the clutch housing. The access plug can now be removed using the special hexagon bar. A thread sealant is used on the plug. This must be cleaned off and new sealant applied when reassembled. Remove the retaining bolt to the reverse idler shaft. This is sealed with an alloy washer. The housing consists of just 2 pieces. Once the bolts have all been withdrawn, it's necessary to release the snap ring through the access hole on the countershaft using circlip pliers. Then gently tap upwards with a soft hammer on these access lugs to break the seal. The casing can then be easily lifted off. The interlock mechanism is retained by 3 bolts. And can now be completely removed. Undo and remove the 2 retaining bolts from the reverse shift lever. Then take out the reverse gear and shaft. After lifting off the main shaft bearing, the selector forks can be removed. This is done by lifting both the main and counter shafts before sliding out the selector forks as a complete assembly. After lowering the two shafts back into the casing, lock the transmission by selecting first and fourth gears. Now place the special tool, an anti-spread plate, over the fifth gear synchro sleeve and countershaft bearing. And undo the retaining nut. Remember that this nut has a left-hand thread. The final drive assembly simply lifts straight out of the housing. Having completed all the necessary initial adjustments, the gearbox can now be reassembled, reversing the dismantling procedure. The Montego's ability to provide a positive, safe and comfortable ride is due to the proven reliability of the suspension, steering and brakes. Braking on all 2-litre models is provided by this new ventilated disc brake fitted to the front wheels using Colette-type single-piston calipers. Improved cooling and large area brake pads provide major benefits and allow long pad life. On all models, a pad wear sensor located in the right-hand inside brake pad transmits information to the driver. Brake pad wear can be measured with the wheels in situ using wear gauge 18G 1430. To renew the brake pad, remove the lower guide pin on the caliper, swing the caliper up on the upper bolt and withdraw the pads. Rear drum brakes are self-adjusting and lining wear can be assessed with the wheels in situ through slots in the back plate. The brake system is servo-assisted and is similar in many respects to that fitted to the Maestro. To provide a smooth and comfortable ride, combined with positive road holding, independent all-round suspension is used. While some detailed alterations have been made, the layout will be familiar to you. The front suspension utilizes McPherson struts with an integral telescopic damper, coil springs and rubber-mounted lower arms, interconnected by an anti-roll bar. Coil spring ratings differ depending on specification. Refer to the repair manual for identification. The rear suspension uses telescopic dampers and coil springs in conjunction with a trailing twist axle, H-frame and trailing arms. The whole system is easily serviced and provides the excellent road holding qualities that typify Austin Rover vehicles. Remember to always use the central garage jack facility at the rear of the car. Never lift on the H-frame. Montego's steering uses the well-tried and tested rack and pinion system, lubricated for life and needing no adjustment. Power steering is available on certain models and requires no maintenance apart from routine fluid checks and belt adjustment. The standard of electrics and electronics on the Montego are designed to meet the tough demands of today's driving conditions and And at the top end of the range, electric windows, central door locking and all-door courtesy lights are part of the very high specification. And the ultimate in that specification is the new Driver Information Centre. Using liquid crystal technology, 4 instrument displays are provided, a digital speedometer and segmented displays for tachometer, fuel and temperature, the brightness of which can be adjusted with the fascia-mounted dimmer control. A comprehensive warning lamp display gives further driver information. And the message center, which picks up data from a number of vehicle sensors, provides visual displays. And audio messages which are presented to the driver via the car's audio speakers, whether or not the radio cassette player is in use.
Warning. A fault has been detected. Pull over and have the oil level checked.
Naturally, the driver can restrict or switch off the audio messages altogether as required. Message priority is indicated by a triple bar attention display. The primary role of the message center, however, is to provide a digital clock, calendar and odometer. Storing this basic data, the trip computer will display trip distance, average and instantaneous fuel consumption and fuel used, all of which increases driver interest and makes long journeys more enjoyable. And, together with the speedometer reading, this information can instantly be converted to metric at the touch of a button. Date and time information is retained even when the ignition is turned off. Although lost when the battery is disconnected, resetting is simple and similar to setting a digital watch. The odometer is tamper-proof and will store the recorded mileage for a number of years even with the battery disconnected. A service interval display is located in the right-hand corner. As time and mileage pass, the light blue segments extinguish until an orange segment illuminates, indicating a service will soon be due. Once the service interval expires, a red segment will be displayed continuously whilst the ignition is switched on, and every time the engine started, the voice unit will announce,
A service is now required. Please refer to the vehicle handbook.
Resetting the service interval display after a service is straightforward, and full details are given in the repair manual. Finally, a vehicle map. Various segments light up if the boot or doors are not properly shut, and others indicate any exterior lights which are switched on. Should a bulb fail, the relevant display segment will extinguish. Fault finding is simplified by using a range of both current and new fast check equipment. Analog instrumentation through the rest of the range is clear, well laid out, and features a range of warning lights and other indicators. The 2-litre also has low fuel and high engine temperature warning lamps together with a tachometer. A simple plug-in type fuse box is located on the driver's side of the vehicle under the parcel shelf. Another feature is the programmed wipe sequence that automatically goes into operation when the windscreen washers are used. The wipers go through 4 strokes and when parked are concealed below the bonnet line. Bulb replacement is simplicity itself, and headlamp adjustment is carried out by adjusters behind each headlamp. Montego, a rare breed of car, distinctively better in every detail. Montego, the car that puts the driver first.